Hello my friends, William Poloniak here at Whole Health Foundation. Today I'm making a garden harvest juice and I'm going to put about, it looks like 9 or 10 cups of tomatoes with a number of other ingredients. Let's look at those other ingredients. Well my friends, as you can see, in addition to my 9 or 10 cups of tomatoes, I've got 8 cucumbers, 1 huge beet, some gobo root, or what's known in America as burdock root, curly leaf kale, French sorrel, carrots, garlic, ginger, and turmeric, and I've even got some parsley buried under this bag. So let's make some juice. The first thing I want to point out is I'm using the front-loading feed tube and the near zero blowback cutter, which has over 80 teeth. And this cutter with teeth reduces the temperature by 4 degrees centigrade. So let's put the cutter on. And we will install the feed tube and plug the thermometer in on the left side. Now I want to point out that I'm using a thermometer on this juicer, and the temperature now is going down, approaching 20. It's down to 22 now. Let's put a couple more ice cubes in. Now I'm going to start with my greens and put my curly leaf kale through first. Down to 18, down to 17. More kale. And what I'm going to do next is clean my grid. Kale is very, very fibrous, so when you do kale, clean your grid often. And we'll reassemble and start with my French sorrel and do some more cucumbers. Now in between French sorrel and cucumbers I'm going to put some turmeric. Next we'll do a little more turmeric. Now I'm done with my greens and I'll put through the tomatoes. Now tomatoes are very, very liquid, so we have to be careful to keep this feed tube covered. Now I'm all done with shredding my vegetables, and one thing I love about this front-loading feed tube is you can see in here whether or not all of your produce is shred, and I can see that all my produce is shred, but I like to get in the habit of putting a couple fingers full of pulp in there and force anything through I may or may not have seen. So let's do that now. And next I'm going to clean my grid and my feed tube, and then mix my produce and start making juice. Whenever there's carrots mixed with your greens, you do not need a bamboo liner. Bamboo liners are for greens only or fruit juice, but in this case we're going to rotate the bowl in both directions and get a very, very good mix of carrot and greens pulp. Alright, we're going to take these 6 cloths, leave enough room here for the folded cloths, and I want to point out that as long as there's carrots in the mix, you don't need a bamboo liner. Now put your tray in, and if it's stretched at the sides, put it in at an angle, and put 3 scoops in each cloth. I'm going to set this aside and press 2 cloths at one time because you get better pressure that way. Alright, these are going to go in the press, and on your last cloth advance that all the way. here's my 6-cloth less work method. This goes forward, that goes over. The spent cloths go on top here. 2 more cloths in the press. Centered left to right, centered front to back, adjust if need be, all the way back, back it up. And then we'll make more juice. In the center, centered left to right, centered front to back, all the way back, back it off. Now I notice I have some puddling in my bowl, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pulp, crush it up, and put it in the puddle of juice to absorb all that juice. And then I'm going to start again with 3 scoops. And we'll fold it into thirds, just like they came in the package. Flatten it, set it aside. And again, I notice a little bit of puddling here, so I'm going to put the pulp into the puddle. And mix it in as thoroughly as I can to absorb all that juice. And we'll continue with 3 scoops this time. And again, filling from the backside just so the camera gets a good look. And I'll point out again, I'm leaving about 10% because I'm going to add water. The juice is generally much too concentrated as it is, so adding a little bit of water is a good idea. But if you don't like that, you can fill it right to the top. It's all up to you. Now I'm almost done with my juicing. Here's my last 2 cloths full of pulp. And what I'm going to do now is repackage these all the way back, back it off a little, because I know there's more juice in these patties, especially if you look around the edges, you'll see they're still damp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the edges into the middle and make as tight a package as I can, and use a special folding technique, and I'll show that to you now. I'm going to fold the edges under, like so, in both directions, and make as tight a package as I can, and I'm folding it under to minimize slippage. So we'll do that again with this one. Advance that all the way while we're pressing. Now my friends, as you can see, I've repackaged the already pressed and spent pulp, and I'm going to use a measuring beaker to measure how much extra juice we can get. So let's put 2 of these repackaged pulp containers into the press. And it's very important at this stage to center it. So centered left to right, centered front to back, all the way back, and back it off. And let's see how much more juice we can get from repackaging the already spent pulp. Now as soon as you get juice flow, advance that all the way. Well, there we have 12 plus ounces, almost 14 ounces so far. And I'm going to repackage my packets again for a second time. Now I've repackaged all of the pulp again, and now I've got 18 ounces almost overflowing here. And I still have 2 more repackaged cloths to put in. So what I'm going to do is pour this into the collection bowl. Oh, almost overflowing. And we'll put in these last 2 packets and see how much more juice we got. So far 18 more ounces. Now there's another 8 ounces of juice. So 18 and 8, that's 26 more ounces. That's 2 more bottles of juice. I'm topping all these bottles off with distilled water, and I got 20 bottles from this juicing session. Now my friends, as you can see, we have 5, 10, 15, 20 bottles of juice, plus enough for a taste test. And remember, 2 of these bottles came from pressing the already spent pulp by repackaging it and pressing it again. So that's about 10% more juice that you wouldn't have. Well, my friends, here we have another garden fresh juice, this time with gobo root, or burdock root as it's known in America. Let's give it a taste. Ah, this is delicious, and I can taste the parsley that's in this juice. Well, my friends, I hope you like what you've seen. If you do, please tell a friend. And if you'd like to call me, my phone number is 760-753-0321. Or if you'd like to email me to get advice, buy a juicer, or buy parts to upgrade your juicer, my email address is developtrust@cox.net, and my webpage is wholehealthfound.com. I'll see you in the next video.